Hello everybody and welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Today we're going to be going through a roll of mint Cellos from 1962. We got this roll of Lincoln Memorials from eBay. This auction that I won came from the state of Tennessee. There are 50 in it as far as the auction went, so that's what we believe we're going to find here. We're going to look through them, just checking out the different quality of them, hopefully find some high-grade coins, hopefully find some beautifully toned coins. I took 12 photos for the eBay listing that I'll post after the video, and I did see that there were some coins in it that looked toned. I just looked at 12, so there's 38 that will be a complete surprise to me, and I didn't look at the reverses of any of them. I just took some quick photos. Hey Jasmine, Easley, and welcome. We're just getting started here. Got a roll of mint Cellos from 1962. Gonna check them out, see if we can find anything beautiful in them. And this is the first one here. They're still in their little original mint packaging. When you buy a proof set, they come with all the coins in them. But since the other coins from this year, except for the nickel and penny, are silver, a lot of people cut the sets apart either to get the silver out or to grade, and people aren't as interested in the pennies that are made of copper. But good morning, welcome to the stream. Good to have someone here bright and early. How's your day going? And I do apologize for the glare. Making video of these is very difficult due to the packaging it's so old that it's got some kind of warpedness to it. But let me dump these out of the bag so that we can go through them one at a time. One down, 49 to go. And most of the damaging and mark that you guys see, it's just on the mint Cello. There's a little leeway, you can move the coins around in them a little bit, and usually that's how you can tell that the marks aren't there, but 99% of what you see is not on the coin, it's just on the protective packaging. Usually when there's damage, it's the coin's getting kind of spotted and getting like a carbon spot. And I did see at least one coin that had some pretty good environmental damage. This one's got a little bit of toning on the front and back. My camera does not show toning super well, but on the top right, between noon and 3 o'clock in trust, it's got kind of a silvery blue color to the coin. The rest of it is a full red. And on the reverse of the coin as well, it looks like on the bottom of the coin, you can see a little bit of the toning there. It's a blue with a couple little bright red splotches on it. I like any color on coins. I feel like they add a little bit of eye appeal. There's a lot of people out there that want a coin that is just solid red. They want it to look just the way it did when it came from the mint. But coins naturally start to react to the environment the moment they're struck. So eventually there will be no more red examples, and if I didn't have a red example, I'd want one with beautiful, beautiful colors on it. Alright, here we have an environmentally damaged one. The cellophane on it feels very thin. You can even see that there is some pieces of the cellophane inside. And on the right side you can see the fields have clouded. So this is not what we're looking for, but when you buy a roll of them, sight unseen, this is what you can get. And so we take the good with the bad. Yeah, it feels like the entire right side of the packaging here, it's all kind of coming loose. And so as you can see, these aren't airtight, but once the mint Cello gets compromised, this is kind of, a coin reacting to the elements in a more natural way. And unfortunately it causes damage to the coin. Sometimes it causes beautiful toning. sometimes it causes unsightly surfaces. We'll take a look at this one. Looks like there are some darker spots in the field. It doesn't look toned to me, just maybe starting to be a red-brown. The natural toning for copper coins is it goes from red to red-brown to brown. And a coin that has 95% of the red remaining on it is considered a red coin. And if it has, I believe, is it 25 to 95% is red-brown? But there becomes a point where a coin can still have a little bit of red on it, but it's considered a brown coin. And this cellophane definitely, or maybe it looks like it is the nickel, but this one has some environmental damage. The front is almost white. But yeah, I can feel, with the cellophane, I can feel the damage on here. And then the reverse. This is green, greenish black. So this is not a coin we're going to send into PCGS to have graded. But hopefully we'll get lots of other nice examples that when we go to do a bulk submission, we can put the good ones. This one as well, it's looking a little compromised. I think we might have hit the most compromised coins per roll so far, and we've just started for the day. So this one's got a nice bright, almost white color on the front. And then the reverse, we see again some environmental damage. It is too bad. Some of these coins are destined to just be in a body bag forever. This one's got a little bit of a pastel color to it. It's got kind of like a pinky purpleness to the copper. I don't know whether to call these toned or if it's just the original color of the metal. Almost looks like there's something going on Lincoln there. Maybe a little bit of environmental damage. Yeah, there's a little bit on the reverse as well. So we've had better rolls so far of these mint cellos. I don't think we have seen a single one that looks absolutely pristine and beautiful yet. This one's got a little bit of yellow toning to it. Most of the coin is a natural copper color. And I'd say the front is a normal red color. But the reverse around the rim, it's got kind of a bright yellowness to it. This is probably the nicest coin we've looked at so far. And I definitely did notice that there are some nicely toned coins in this bag. And this one, it's got a little bit of toning as well. It is very bright and beautiful. Going from the other coins to this one is a treat. It's definitely, after looking at some coins that don't look so pretty, to go to one that's all bright and red with lustrous fields, it's quite nice. The reverse has a little bit of natural mint cello toning, which is kind of like an orangey red around the rim. And I do apologize, my camera doesn't show toning super well, but you can almost see where the border line of the toning begins on the sides. And it's just like a kind of an orangey color. It's really attractive on the coins, I feel. And if you're going to have toning on a coin, it's one that a lot of people recognize. It's interesting. Here's another one with like bright white fields as well. And unfortunately, it has environmental damage on the reverse as well. Not so hot. But by the time a coin is like this, it almost seems like it's not even worth anything. I can't imagine that they have much resale value in that condition. It's a 60-year-old proof coin, but so this one, it's got pretty bright fields, but it's got the carbon spots on it. They're fairly large. Beautiful coin otherwise. This would be a good hole filler in a collection, I think. The reverse looks pretty decent too. A couple little spots. This one's, the color on it is changing just a little bit. It's got a couple little like yellow spots in the field. And it looks like it may have some environmental damage too. You can kind of see the darkened spots in the left field. Normally, most of the rolls I've gotten from this eBay seller, I'd say the conditions are like about proof 64 to proof 66. However, it seems like the majority of this roll so far has been damaged with environmental damage, which is sad, but it's what happens when you buy a roll sight unseen. It's one of the reasons I try to make these videos, is so that people, if they're interested in what I'm selling on eBay, they have a little bit better idea of what they're buying, because they can see all the coins up close under a microscope. So this one, we've got some pretty nice fields in the front. There's a couple spots that are a little bit lighter. It doesn't quite look like toning, but I'm not quite sure what it is. The rim on the reverse is a little bit darker. It almost looks like it wants to have some color to it, but doesn't quite, and it's an interesting angle for it. I'd say this coin is starting to go red-brown. Some of that might just be on the cello. Just gonna move it around a little bit, see if it disappears. Interesting. That actually looks like there are, I want to look at that again. Okay. I was gonna say, it almost looked like a clash for a moment. It almost looked like the coin, it almost looked like the bottom of the memorial steps flipped over, because that's definitely on the coin. I am not 100% sure what happened here. It actually kind of does look like the steps, and then it almost looks like there is an additional impression of the top. This one is kind of interesting. I mean, it's possible that is all damage. That's a lot of damage to either have happened at the mint or within the cello. Yeah, that actually, not the bottom of the steps, but the second tier of the memorial almost looks like it's on the top tier, and then it almost looks like there is another, like the top tier is right above it. Huh. Let's just take a look at the front again, see if there's anything different on the front. And so I don't, if that is the memorial there, I don't know if this would be like a double struck, or how that would be. Very interesting. I will have to ask someone about that. I haven't seen one quite like that before. And we have another white looking one. And guess what? I already saw the reverse. The reverse is I think that this is from the very first package that I opened from this seller, just because when I purchased them, I put them all out, and the very first coin that I saw was just this coin with a dark green back. And I think by chance, I just didn't open this one first. But this is what I was like, oh boy, what did I buy? And do you know, I'm glad that I didn't judge it, because every other roll I've gotten from them has been so much nicer than this one. I probably wouldn't have bought any more from them. I actually purchased one from them today. I believe it was, no, I think I got a 1964 today. This one's quite nice. Wish they could all be this nice. Alright, next up. And this one looks pretty nice. It's got a little bit of tiny spots in the fields. There's a spot on the G and a spot on the rim. Looks like there's a dye marker on the coat there. The reverse has a tiny bit of color. The center of the memorial there is a little bit oranger, but none of the color, at least looking at it with my naked eye, none of it really pops here. I'd definitely be interested to see if we find any more with double kind of steps on the reverse. Looks like, is that a tiny little piece of cellophane in there? I think so, or I think it's on the outside of pardon me, excuse me. Yeah, for a second there I thought there was like a little dye chip on the coin, but it appears to just be on the cellophane. Everything I'm seeing on here has a shadow, so it looks like a really nice front. We'll check out the reverse. I believe everything is, there might be a spot or two on the reverse of this one. But at least it looks like we're finding some nicer coins. It looks like a bunch of these are now white. Almost every one we just went through. This one's has an interesting cut. Just can show you guys, if you guys haven't seen the mint tokens, this is what they look like. And then they have paper on the back. It looks like maybe like aluminum with paper stamped on the reverse. But most of the mint cellos, they're so old that they, depending on how they were stored, they have kind of a yellow tinge to them. While it looks like a good portion of the rest of this roll are bright white, and I think that that is probably good news for us, because I kind of want to, I already put it in here, I was kind of wanting to like check out that one with like the extra, with the doubling on the reverse at the end of here, but it already got lost in the bag. But maybe we'll find another one. Sometimes when you find something like that, they come in pairs. It's a little bit nice actually, like I'd like to have a quieter stream today. I really enjoy it when people are in here watching. It was a hard morning to get going here. And I don't have to talk nearly as much. I can just show you guys the coins and enjoy. This one has some interesting fields. I'm assuming that that's kind of like environmental damage. You can kind of see a bunch of little spots on it. But it almost looks like we're, yeah, This one's kind of going a red-brown color, it looks like. And it's interesting too, like you can see, you know, on the back of this, you can see how the edges, how the paper reacts to time and oxygen and the environment. It's getting like a yellowy brown. We've all seen it on like older papers and books and documents and stuff. This one looks pretty. It's got a couple different colors to it. More of like a pastel hues to it. I don't know what to call it when a coin has like kind of like a solid pastel color to it, if it's just the metal content that was used to it. I know bronze can have a lot of different color to it. It looks like there is, you know, a spot there, front and center, but otherwise the coin looks really nice. This one looks like it's got a little bit of environmental toning. It's interesting because most of these ones that have a whitish appearance, it seems like they're the ones that are vulnerable. And you can see on the mint Cello, you can see the different kind of colors of the plastic. And that's oftentimes a sign that the Cello itself has been exposed to the environment. So it wasn't just haphazard that the coin toned and changed colors. And so I guess if you're ever buying mint sets or individual mint Cellos, if the packaging looks like it's been damaged, the coin is probably gonna also show some damage, and if it doesn't already, it probably will. This one looks like it has some environmental damage around the rim. Otherwise, very nice looking coin, and it looked like the reverse has some environmental damage about the same place. One thing that's refreshing, I feel like we've barely seen any fingerprints on these proof mint Cellos. When we were going through the business strike mint Cello rolls, it definitely seemed like the mint employees from the 70s and early 80s were not wearing gloves. And I would just see a lot of damage here and there. Just a big black fingerprint across it. This one's got some spots on it as well. Where were those? I saw some toned coins when I took some photos for the eBay listing. They were definitely there. They must have just been on the other side of the bag. I think we have a bright, happy one here. Pretty good example. Really nice fields, lots of sparkles struck into the metal. See if the reverse looks as good. Looks like there's a couple spots, I believe, on the Cello. I think that this is the nicest one we've gone to look at so far. Kind of an interesting looking rim up there at the top. Almost looks like it has two edges. Perhaps that's just where it's meeting the mint Cello at the top. Keep on rolling through here. Looks like another nice looking one here. There's perhaps a little spot on his coat. Not too bad though. I like to see these fields sparkle. I always feel like that's a good sign that it's been struck really well. And the reverse is looking pretty clean here as well. There may be a small spot on one of the pillars on the right side. It may just be on the mint Cello. Getting better slowly, looking through these. Hey Barbara, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, we finally got into a patch in this roll where the coins are looking a little better. The first half of the roll, it was, I would say, more coins with environmental damage and heavy spotting. This one, it looks pretty clean, but I'd say the fields aren't quite as deep. Just not quite as much, I don't know, we'll say bling. It seems like it's starting to react to the environment a little bit. The mint cello here is really, really kind of curvy here, and so I do apologize. I try to set things up so there'll be minimal glare when I'm doing like a slabbed coin or a raw coin. It works really well, but these, they just curve and are all different shapes. How's your day going so far, Barbara? Welcome to the channel. Here we have a really nice example again. This one looks really nice. Normally in a stream I'm like, alright, how big's the spot on the reverse? But I'm hoping we got through all the super spotted ones because we're on a roll now. These are looking a lot nicer. Like the last couple coins, this is what I'm hoping to find. Like I'd say that these last couple ones would definitely grade a proof 66 in my opinion. I'm not a professional grader yet. Give me a year, I hope to be. But this is what we're looking for. This is what we're hoping to find. Looks like this one has a couple spots on it. And like I've said a million times in these streams, pretty much all of the lines and curved marks, that's just on the mint cello. It's kind of damaged that the protective mint cello has taken so that the coin won't get a scratch. Occasionally they get dinged hard enough, the scratch can go right through. And occasionally the pressure will kind of like put some of the plastic onto the coin, which then it will have a different kind of damage. It is a very quiet day. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I woke up with a headache and I pulled a muscle in my back, and I was kind of like, I don't really feel like sitting and doing a stream today. I just want to go back to bed. But I gotta do my work. I gotta get on here. I mean, I'd like to say I do this for fun every day, but this is my job. This one looks really nice. And I'm actually feeling a lot better here, but some mornings it's just hard to, like if I have a headache that's pressing, it's a little harder to look at the glare and talk and talk and talk and talk, and I've been able to just kind of go at my own pace today, which has been nice. But I never mind a bunch of company in here. It's always fun. I don't think I have had a single negative person in any of my streams so far, and that's one of the reasons I really like the coin community on YouTube, is just everyone is so supportive and wonderful and kind. I'm not sure. Let's move that. It almost looks like it's on the cello. Okay, yeah, that spot definitely moved off of it. This one looks really nice in that case. I was going to say we've got another spotted one, but this one's so bright that it's hard to, the fields are just radiant. I think this morning Copper Coins, I think Chuck over at Copper Coins, he's got a stream and he's going through roll in 1974 Philadelphia, I believe, original bankrupt roll. The guy is phenomenal. He knows everything about Lincoln cents, and so I'm pretty sure most of the community there is there learning a thing or two. If you're ever interested in learning more about coins, I definitely look up to the guy. Anytime I have a question, I try to ask him, and he's been very helpful and very kind. It's definitely one of my favorite things about making videos on YouTube, is when I stopped making videos on YouTube and started to look around and started to like see what other people were doing and checking out other channels. That's when I really started learning and making friends. Have you been having a good morning today? Is it morning there? Where are you from? Looks like a little spot inside the O. Take a look at this one. This one's definitely got some spots on it. We won't take a terrible long time looking at it. I'm still waiting for those toned coins. I definitely saw when I was pulling the coins out to take photos for eBay for the first 12 coins, because you can only take 12 photos on eBay, I saw toned coins, and I have not seen them yet. This one's got like a little bit of a whiter silvery color. Pretty much every one we've pulled out that looks like this has had like bright green toning on the back, or not bright green environmental damage. Totally opposite thing. But this one doesn't. That's kind of nice. It's not quite as bright. I feel like the luster is a little bit duller on the reverse. But I feel like a lot of people like these bright white ones, and the fact that this one doesn't have a bunch of damage or spots on it is a good thing. Somebody will like this coin. This one's got a little bit of different colors on the reverse, but can't really call it attractive toning. It's super, super bright on the front. Looks like a couple little spots in the field. But wow, if this didn't have the spots in the field, the luster looks super deep in this one. Like they look like mirror-like. I can just tell by the way the light kind of like changes like that. And on this one, the memorial kind of has a darker color to it. It's still a bright, happy color, but it's a different color than the rest of the copper. I think that this is the most mirror-like proof that I have actually seen come out of any of these auctions. It reminds me a little bit more of a modern one. Oh, nice. Well, good afternoon to you, Barbara. How is Florida today? It's kind of, it was a beautiful, beautiful sunrise here in California. It's kind of one of those like pink and violet skies coming up through the redwoods. It was gorgeous. This one is really gorgeous too, but now it's just kind of a gray day. It can't be sunny in California all the time, and I live in the rainforest, so. All of these ones are proof. They're all, it was a proof set from the mint, and so a collector at the time purchased this or had ordered it to be sent to them in the mail. And the proof set has been cut apart. Just the mint token and the Lincoln cent remain. This one is gorgeous. Alright, I'll say, let's look at the reverse. I don't know, a couple of these, see, I still need to learn how to identify a cameo coin, and I understand that the front and back devices are supposed to be frosted. And so basically what happens is that say for the front, the devices would be Lincoln, and so when it's frosted, it gets kind of like a whitish kind of color to it, and then it makes Lincoln just stand out from the fields incredibly well, which I feel like that happens here, but I don't feel like it's a Cameo. But if you get an early proof coin with Cameo, it's worth a lot more money than one that is just like a proof 66 red. If it's a proof 66 red Cameo, the value goes up significantly. And the next step up is like a proof 66 red deep Cameo, which just means that it's like a really exceptionally struck coin. Take a look at the front. This one's got a little bit of cello damage. Nice, that's gotta be really nice to have like unobstructed views of the sunsets. The sunsets over the ocean are really beautiful. I'm on the coast here too. I'm just a couple minutes walk from the ocean in California. But I have to walk for the sunrise to actually see the sunrise or sunset. It just disappears into the redwoods. I feel like somewhere, maybe on the left field over there next to United, I feel like I saw a couple spots on this one. There was just like a little bit of like these Cello, the coin, it seems to change the color. This one's damaged as well. And it's got that white kind of color to it. Well, I'm glad it is a beautiful day somewhere here today. Florida seems to have those really wonderful days when the rest of the country is kind of like having darker, colder days. We don't need to look at that damaged coin. Take a look at the next one. Couple small spots. Kind of looks like a couple of those scratches are on the coin on the right side. Most of them look like they have shadows or like doubling, which would indicate that it's a reflection. It looks like we have quite a few spots on it. So one of the reasons I've been going through all these coins is I'm trying to get better at grading, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of problems every year and every mint has, and so the best way to do that is to look at thousands and thousands of coins. And so I'm hoping by the time I get through looking at all these coins that I've purchased and have had, I will be a lot better. I'll have trained my eyes to like be able to see what's exceptional and what's not. And then the plan is to start submitting the coins in bulk submissions to PCGS to try to cut down the price. This one's got some obvious damage to it. But yeah, this is the plan. It's to be able to start to get my own coins graded so that I can have pretty much every date and every mint in stock for my eBay store. For years, I've just pretty much resold what I was able to buy, but it leaves huge gaps in my categories, and so I'm trying to get a bunch of raw coins, get the best of the best that I can, and then be able to get them graded and hopefully learn some expensive lessons. They're gonna be expensive lessons at first. I'm gonna be disappointed with some submissions, I'm sure. But I'm hopefully, by taking my time about it, I'm hopefully not gonna get hit too hard in the beginning. I'm definitely gonna be conservative with my grading and expect it to be less than what I'm hoping it for. Like if I'm putting something in for, I'd like to just get proof 67 or higher. With the quality of these coin batches that I'm seeing, I'm feeling like MS or Proof 66 is probably the highest I can hope for with any of these. Anything that I'm probably saying could be a 67 will probably be a 66. And for this year, I really need to get a Proof 67 or higher. A Proof 66 is just not, I'm not going to be able to recoup what I pay to have it graded. Maybe someday it'll be worth it. But they made quite a few million of these proof sets, and there's got to be at least 1 million of them still around, so they're not particularly rare. I would say if it gets up to a proof 69, I would say there is some good money in it. A proof 68 cameo, I would say there's some good money in it. But under that, it's going to be rather difficult. And that's the problem with a lot of modern coins is they're beautiful, beautiful coins, but there's still a lot of them around. This is one of the more affordable proof coins that you can still buy. This one's got some nice kind of pastel color to it. The pastel colors for these years, they're like blues and pinks and violets and purples and whites and silver. It's just really interesting. I don't see that past 67, I don't see coins get these kind of colors on them. It seems like the copper color, the composition of the alloys is just consistent with the proof coins. If they're going to change color or be a different color than red, it's a toned color, where it's different colors throughout the coin, while these ones, they just have a different color to them. And I find them really attractive. Some of my favorite proof coins have these colors on them. And this one is about the same. It's got some pastelness to it. We've pretty much cruised through. I think that this is the quickest I've gone through a roll of mint cellos, and I think the reason being is that there were so many damaged coins in this roll that they just weren't worth giving the extra time to look at the details to see. But at least I have to say the second half of this roll was definitely a lot better quality than the first half. This one is a combination of toned and environmental damage. There's like yellows and oranges on this front, on the left field and on Lincoln. And then on the right field it's turning greenish black. And you can see like kind of the lines up here. There almost looks like there's a hair in there too. But you can see where the you can see moisture got in here. You can see kind of where it's reacted, and now there's like a grime on the cello. I'm just checking out the back because there were some nice colors. You can see kind of some pinky reds. And that would be a good color. Excuse me. I'd like to see some coins that look like that without the environmental damage. That would be my preference here. Ouch, we got another one. I think this roll might get a special price when I repost it up on eBay. I think that this was the first roll, and I just it happened to get on the bottom, in the back of the queue somehow. But the first roll that I got from the seller, like this is what I saw, the first coin coming through the bag. Like I just got like a Ziploc bag like that, and that's what it looked like, and I was like, what did I buy? And I'm so glad that this roll didn't get to represent all the other coins that they were selling, because the other ones have been really nice. This one's interesting. This one's got some color to it as well, but then kind of on the bottom of Lincoln's coat, everything just goes super dull. And I don't know if that's like early stage of like the environmental damage, whether it's going to turn a greenish color like that. But it's like you can just see the luster disappears below 1962. And it looked like on the reverse was the same thing, but on the top of the coin. And it's like almost like the environmental damage is just eating away the surface. And so my guess is that a coin like this is the next stage is it's going to turn that kind of green color. However, no, you can see you can see the black kind of lines in the cello. Like this one doesn't look like it's been as environmentally exposed. The cello, like it's still pretty white, still feels pretty rigid, like the edges feel good. Even the back of the mint token there, it's barely got any. A lot of these ones are just like kind of like have yellow to brown edges. Here's another one that's got silver colors. Unfortunately, it looks like it's got spots on it as well. This one almost looks like a dime in person. It's like that light of a color. I primarily only do pennies. I go back as far as like colonial cents or pence or and do some large cents, some Indian head cents, fine eagle cents, and go all the way to modern. I did do like the quarter state series, the state quarters, and I did a few other quarters and dimes. But I don't know, it's interesting. Like I really enjoyed the project at first, trying to make a video of every quarter. But it was funny, by the time I was like getting down to like the last 50 coins, I was kind of like, I just want to be done with this project. I want to look at pennies again. It was kind of funny. Like it was by branching out and trying different things, I really realized that like this was what I enjoyed doing. This one has a little bit of toning on it, and it's the kind of toning that's not going to show up. It's kind of a neon green toning, an attractive green toning here instead of the opposite, but pretty much down below Lincoln's shoulder to about 9 o'clock on the coin. It's got a green. It usually shows up kind of a pale yellow color when I do these streams on the video, but it's not even giving me that. But fortunately, the rest of the coin looks really clean, and the fields look really nice. It looks like a little bit of the left field has a little bit of spotting it, not spots, but just the luster isn't just flow fully. And so on the top from United States, you can kind of see where it's a little bit darker or lighter, I can't even tell, but that's the parts that's toned on this one, and it's a bright neon green, like a lime green. But unfortunately it doesn't show. And yeah, I do see there's just like the luster on the reverse is not quite even. And I know that this is magnified, like in person, I can just barely see it. It like doesn't really detract at all. And there looks like there's like a bright, like light spot and almost in the center of the field there. Like I could, when I was trying to look for darker spots, you can kind of see it right there in between the two lights, but it kind of like shines like a star. It's kind of interesting. It must be some toning starting there as well. And so pretty much the plan on the stream here is I'm trying to go through about 10,000-20,000 of these mint cellos, trying to get about 1,000 of every date and every mint that I can. And then once we've done that, is there an extra pillar in that one? I believe that this is actually an air coin. Does the other one have a pillar? Maybe that's a different one. Okay, because there is a pillar equal on the other side. But there is a proof coin for this year, I believe it's this year, where there's an extra half a pillar, and then there is like an extra arm, or not an extra arm, but like a piece of a pillar. It's funny, I feel like I could see it clearer before I zoomed in. Yeah, I totally don't even see. It must be the way the light is. But there is one where there is an extra pillar in between the pillars. And then I believe there's like a broken part of a pillar right above Lincoln. And I need to get a microscope that is just a little bit better than the one I have, because I am not able to zoom in close enough. And I don't know, for the most part, for varieties, like if I'm going to collect a variety, I want it to be able to see with the naked eye, or at least with magnification like this. If it's not that much, if I can't zoom in that much and see it, it's like it's I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me as much as another coin might. Let's zoom back out a little bit. So that was the last one for today. I would say that this was the most disappointing roll. So maybe it's a good thing that everybody wasn't here to see this one today. I mean, it wasn't terrible. There were some really nice coins in it. I got a very good price for the roll, and so no complaints there. When I buy these, I expect the possibility that every single one is going to be a cull. I would say about a third of the roll here. I don't know. I wouldn't have bought them if I had seen them in person. But that's just not the case when you're bidding on something on eBay. People do the best they can. It's one of the reasons I make these videos, is so that when people purchase stuff from me, they've at least been able to like kind of see the coins from different angles under a light, and be able to make an informed decision. And hopefully other people on eBay will start doing that. I'd really like to see video become the normal for like a listing. I understand picture does it for some things, but come on guys, it's 2020. Let's move into the future. I really appreciate you joining me today, Barbara. I'm gonna end the stream here. I will be back tomorrow about the same time. I usually have a stream between about 10 and 10:30. I usually start, and it usually goes about an hour long. There's always the possibility tonight. I usually have free time on Wednesday nights that I'll be able to do an extra stream. But I just have things kind of scheduled to once in the morning, just to keep things light and easy and not make it feel like work. But I wish you a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me on the stream, and hope it is a beautiful, beautiful afternoon in Florida, and wish you a good night. Thanks everyone for watching. If you guys enjoy the video, feel free to like and hit the subscribe button, and I wish you guys all beautiful days and beautiful nights as well. Alright, I'll see you guys in the future. Tomorrow I believe we'll have a roll of 1964 proofs. And so pretty much same thing as today, but different year. Alright, see you guys later.